Good morning, students. Today we will discuss about the clinical applications of the enzymes. I am Dr. V.M. Hardas, Associate Professor in Department of Biochemistry. Today we will discuss about the clinical applications of enzymes. In that, we will discuss about diagnostic applications, then therapeutic uses of the enzymes, and use of enzymes as lab reagents or analytical use of enzymes. Before we go to clinical applications of enzymes, I will just quote one example of suicide inhibition. In last lecture, we have discussed about suicide inhibition, and about the examples we have seen. Allopurinol used in the treatment of gout is one of the example of suicide inhibition, and another example is drug 5-fluorouracil. It is also example of suicide inhibition. It gets converted to fluorodeoxyuridylate, which inhibits the enzyme thymidylate synthetase and does nucleotide synthesis. So 5-fluorouracil acts as anti-cancer drugs because it decreases the DNA synthesis and it inhibits the enzyme thymidylate synthase, but before it gets converted into fluorodeoxyuridylate, and that is a more potent inhibitor of enzyme thymidylate synthase. Therefore, this is also example of suicide inhibition. There are two types of enzymes, plasma functional enzymes and plasma non-functional enzymes. So what are these? Plasma functional enzymes means these are the enzymes which are normally present in plasma and they have specific functions to perform. Their activities are higher in plasma than in tissues. They are mostly synthesized in liver and enter the circulation. They are functionally important and they are involved in blood clotting, lipoprotein metabolism, drug metabolism. For example, pseudocholinesterase, lipoprotein lipase, ceruloplasmin, blood coagulation enzymes. So these enzymes are normally present in the plasma in more amount than in the tissues, and they are synthesized mostly in liver, and then they are enter into the circulation. So normally they are present in the plasma and they have their function in the plasma. So that are called as, these are called as plasma functional enzymes, and their clinical significance is that they are clinically significant when the serum level is decreased below the reference range. Normally, the enzymes level is not increased in diseases, it is decreased in some diseases. So this is the plasma functional enzymes. So they are normally present in plasma and they have their function in the plasma and their level in the plasma is more than in the tissues. So these are called as plasma functional enzymes. Then next is plasma non-functional enzymes. So what are they? These are the enzymes present in plasma, but they serve no function in the plasma. They are not having any function in the plasma. They are non-functional enzymes. They are derived from cells of organs and tissues. They are present in higher concentration in the cells as compared to plasma. They are present in organs and tissues more as compared to plasma. In the plasma, their concentration is less. Example is AST, ALT, LDH, CK, ALP, amylase. So these enzymes, they are called as non-functional enzymes. Non-functional enzymes in plasma are present in low concentration. They are clinically important when the serum level is increased above the reference range. So their level, if it is increased, that indicates that there is some tissue damage or some disorder of that organ. So these are the plasma non-functional enzymes. They are important clinically for the diagnosis of the diseases. And what are secretory enzymes? They are mainly derived from digestive glands and function in extracellular space. For example, amylase, lipase, pepsin, trypsin. These are the digestive enzymes. They are secretory enzymes. They also come under plasma non-functional enzymes, but they do not have any diagnostic importance much. They also have some diagnostic importance. For example, amylase, lipase, they are also increased in the diseases. So these are non-functional enzymes, plasma non-functional enzymes. So just now we have grouped this enzymes into two groups, plasma functional enzymes and plasma non-functional enzymes. Plasma functional enzymes means These enzymes have their function in the plasma and their level in the plasma is more as compared to tissues. And they are not much important in the diagnosis of the diseases. Their level is not increased, but their level is decreased in some of the diseases. So example of functional enzymes are pseudocholinesterase, lipoprotein lipase, ceruloplasmin, and blood coagulation enzymes. And non-functional enzymes examples are AST, that is aspartate transaminase, creatine kinase, amylase, alkaline phosphatase. So there are so many other examples of non-functional enzymes. They are clinically important for the diagnosis of the diseases. Non-functional means they do not have any function in the plasma, but they are present more in the cells, more in the organs and the tissues, and they are when that organ is diseased or tissue is damaged, then they are released into the plasma in more amount. Normally their level in the plasma is less. So these are non-functional enzymes. Same thing is shown here. Plasma contains functional enzymes, that means for example enzymes of blood coagulation, and some are non-functional enzymes. They are coming out of the cells of various tissues due to normal wear and tear. Their normal levels in blood are very low, but they are drastically increased during cell death, that is necrosis or disease. Therefore, assays of these enzymes are very useful in the diagnosis of the diseases. The raised enzyme level may be due to cellular damage, increased rate of cell turnover, proliferation of cells, or they may be increased synthesis of the enzymes. So mostly cellular damage or proliferation of cells or increased rate of cell turnover. These are the various causes of increase in the level of the non-functional enzymes in the plasma. A biomarker is a vague term. It is a one naturally occurring molecule, gene or characteristic by which particular pathological process can be identified. Or another definition is that biomarker is a substance used as an indicator of the presence of a material of biological origin or a physiological condition or process, specifically a diagnostic indicator of a medical condition. So biomarkers, they are a broad group, and out of that enzymes can also be considered as a biomarker. So we will discuss enzymes one by one. First enzyme is alkaline phosphatase. Normal range is 40 to 125 units per liter, or another units 3 to 13 King Armstrong units per DL. In children, increased levels are seen. These levels are in the adults, and in children, level is more. Normally, in children, levels are more because there is increased osteoblastic activity in the children. Growth is taking place in the children. That means there is increased osteoblastic activity in the children, and because of that, there is increase in the alkaline phosphatase level. Normally, alkaline phosphatase level in the children is more as compared to adults. Then when this ALP level increases, moderate increase in ALP level is seen in hepatic diseases, means liver diseases such as infective hepatitis, alcoholic hepatitis, or hepatocellular carcinoma. Hepatic diseases, alcoholic hepatitis, infective hepatitis, hepatocellular carcinoma, moderate increase. And very high levels of ALP if very high levels of ALP are there, then there may be extrahepatic obstruction. That means obstructive jaundice may be there, or obstructive jaundice may be caused by gallstones or by pressure on bile duct by the carcinoma of head of pancreas. So if there is obstruction to the flow of the bile due to any cause, that means if there is obstructive jaundice, then very high levels of alkaline phosphatase are seen. And moderate increase is seen in hepatic diseases such as infective hepatitis, alcoholic hepatitis, and hepatocellular carcinoma. So in hepatocellular jaundice, moderate increase, and in obstructive jaundice, very high levels of ALP are seen. The obstructive jaundice may be because of the intrahepatic obstruction, may be due to virus, for example, infective hepatitis, or may be because of drug, for example, chlorpromazine. So there may be, if there is obstruction due to any cause, if there is obstruction to the flow of bile due to any cause, that will lead to increase in the alkaline phosphatase level. So obstruction may be due to biliary gallstones or carcinoma of head of pancreas, or that may be because of virus, for example in infective hepatitis, or by drugs such as chlorpromazine. So there can be obstruction to the flow of the bile. So that will lead to increase in the alkaline phosphatase level. So why there is increase in the alkaline phosphatase level if there is obstruction to bile? Because ALP is produced by epithelial cells of biliary canaliculi, and obstruction of bile with consequent irritation of epithelial cells leads to secretion of ALP into the serum. If there is obstruction to the bile, then there is irritation of epithelial cells of biliary canaliculi, and because of that production of alkaline phosphatase is more, because alkaline phosphatase is produced by epithelial cells of biliary canaliculi. So if there is obstruction to flow of bile, irritation of epithelial cells, and that will lead to secretion of ALP into the serum. And drastically high levels of ALP, means 10 to 25 times of upper limit, are seen in bone diseases where osteoblastic activity is enhanced or increased, such as Paget's disease of bone, that is osteitis deformans, or rickets, osteomalacia, osteoblastoma, metastatic carcinoma of bone, and hyperparathyroidism. So these are the other conditions in which alkaline phosphatase level is very high or much increased. So Paget's disease of bone, rickets, osteomalacia, osteoblastoma, metastatic carcinoma of bone, and hyperparathyroidism. So alkaline phosphatase is not specific for the liver. It can be increased in the bone conditions. So if it is moderately increased, then there may be infective hepatitis, or viral hepatitis, or alcoholic hepatitis, or if it is or there can, or if it is somewhat more increased or moderately increased, then there can be obstruction to the flow of the bile, and there may be obstructive jaundice because of the carcinoma of head of pancreas or gallstones, or due to any other cause. If there is obstruction to flow of bile, then alkaline phosphatase level is increased, and if it is increased too much or to a very high extent, then there may be a bone disease or increased osteoblastic activity. For example, there can be Paget's disease of bone, that is also called as osteitis deformans, or there may be rickets, osteomalacia, osteoblastoma, metastatic carcinoma of bone, and hyperparathyroidism. So these are the various conditions in which alkaline phosphatase level is increased. Normal level is 3 to 13 King Armstrong unit, and its normal level in children is more because of the increased amount of growth is going on in the children, and osteoblastic activity is taking place in the children. Therefore, increased alkaline phosphatase level is there normally in the children. The next enzyme is alanine aminotransferase, or ALT, or its other name is SGPT, that is serum glutamate pyruvate transaminase. This enzyme needs pyridoxal phosphate as coenzyme. Its normal serum level is need not remember the difference between male and female. You can remember 10 to 35 units per liter is the ALT level, normal serum level. Then very high values are seen in acute hepatitis. It may be either toxic or viral in origin. So ALT, alanine aminotransferase, is mainly produced by the liver, and pyridoxal phosphate is required as coenzyme for this, and its level are increased. That means some problem in the liver is there. So there can be acute hepatitis, either toxic or viral in origin, or there may be infective hepatitis. Both ALT and AST levels are increased in liver disease, but ALT level is more increased as compared to AST level. This is ALT, alanine aminotransferase. Its level is increased in liver disease. Rise in ALT levels may be noticed several days before clinical signs such as jaundice are manifested. So, we can estimate the ALT level in the blood to or to diagnose this condition early before the clinical signs appear. So, we can diagnose this jaundice early at the early stage, because before the clinical signs appear, the level of ALT rise in the blood. So that is the advantage of this. And second is moderate increase may be seen in chronic liver diseases such as cirrhosis, hepatitis C, and non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. So that is the condition of the liver. Cirrhosis of liver, hepatitis C, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis. So this alanine aminotransferase is specific for the liver, and it's in liver conditions or diseases of the liver, the level of the ALT increases. So what are these diseases? Acute hepatitis or cirrhosis of liver, hepatitis C, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis or infective hepatitis, or this hepatitis may be because of virus, that is infective hepatitis, or it may be because of toxic, because of some drugs or chemicals which are hepatotoxic. So if there is damage to the liver because of certain toxins, then that can also lead to increase in the ALT levels. So this ALT is a marker for liver diseases. Next enzyme is aspartate aminotransferase. Other name is SGOT, that is serum glutamate oxaloacetate transaminase. This also needs pyridoxal phosphate as coenzyme. Its level in the serum is normal level 8 to 40 units per liter. It is also a marker of liver injury and also marker of myocardial infarction. It is a marker of liver injury and shows moderate to drastic increase in parenchymal liver diseases like hepatitis and malignancies of liver and cirrhosis of liver. It was used as a marker of myocardial ischemia in previous days. Its level is significantly elevated in myocardial infarction. But nowadays, troponins have replaced AST as a diagnostic marker in ischemic heart disease. But remember, its level is increased in myocardial infarction, and also its level is increased in liver diseases like hepatitis, malignancy of liver, cirrhosis of liver. So its level increase, that means it doesn't always means that there is myocardial infarction. Its level can be increased in liver diseases. So in liver diseases, both ALT and AST are increased, but ALT is increased more than AST, and AST is also increased in myocardial infarction. But nowadays, more some other markers are more commonly used than or more useful than AST, like troponins. But this AST level is increased in myocardial infarction also. Now next enzyme is acid phosphatase. It hydrolyzes phosphoric acid ester at pH between 4 and 6, and its normal level is 0.5 to 4 Ka units per dl or 2.5 to 12 units per liter, and it is secreted by prostate cells, RBCs, platelets and WBCs. So it also has got isoenzymes. What is isoenzyme, that we will see later on. Isoenzymes, these are the different forms of same enzyme. The prostate isoenzyme is inactivated by tartaric acid. Normal level of tartarate labile fraction is 1 unit per liter. ACP total value is increased in prostate cancer and highly elevated in bone metastasis of prostate cancer. So in this condition, tartarate labile isoenzyme is elevated. This assay is very useful in follow-up treatment of prostate cancer. So ACP is an important tumor marker. Acid phosphatase is increased in prostate cancer because this is secreted by the prostate cells, and it is also secreted by RBCs. So if blood sample is taken and if it is hemolyzed sample, that means RBCs are broken down, then acid phosphatase will come out of that RBCs, and false increased level of acid phosphatase will be obtained. So to avoid that, care must be taken to prevent the hemolysis while taking blood from the patient, or hemolyzed sample should not be used for estimation of the ACP because RBCs contain ACP, that is acid phosphatase, and prostate massage may also increase the value of this. Therefore, blood should be collected before the rectal examination in the suspected prostate cancer patients. So acid phosphatase level is increased in prostate cancer, and therefore it acts as a tumor marker. The another marker for prostate cancer is prostate specific antigen. It is produced from the secretory epithelium of the prostate gland. It is normally secreted into seminal fluid where it is necessary for the liquefaction of seminal coagulum. It is a serine protease and it is a glycoprotein. In blood, it is bound with alpha 2 macroglobulin and alpha 1 antitrypsin. It is a very small fraction is in the free form also, and normal level is 1 to 5 units per liter. So in blood it is bound to these two proteins, macroglobulin and alpha 1 antitrypsin, and very less amount is in the free form. It is very specific for prostate activity. Values above 10 units per liter is indicative of prostate cancer. So what are the markers for prostate cancer? One is acid phosphatase and second is prostate specific antigen. The next enzyme is amylase. This is a digestive enzyme. Its enzyme splits starch to maltose. It is activated by calcium and chloride ions. It is produced by pancreas and salivary glands. Normal level is 80 to 120 Somogai units per dl. Remember the units, 80 to 120 Somogai units per dl. The value is increased is about 1000 times in acute pancreatitis, which is a life-threatening condition. The peak values are seen between 5 to 12 hours after the onset of the disease and returns to normal level within 2 to 4 days after the acute phase has subsided. Moderate increase in serum levels are seen in other conditions like chronic pancreatitis, mumps, that is parotitis, and obstruction of pancreatic duct, also in severe diabetic ketoacidosis. So normal level is 80 to 120 and its level if it is increased, then if it is moderately increased, it may be chronic pancreatitis or it may be mumps or parotitis, means it is a infection of parotid glands, and there can be obstruction of pancreatic duct, or also in severe diabetic ketoacidosis the level of amylase is moderately increased, and if it is very severely increased then that indicates acute pancreatitis. It is about 1000 times increased in acute pancreatitis, and this acute pancreatitis is a very serious condition or life threatening condition. So to diagnose this acute pancreatitis, which enzyme is helpful? Estimation of amylase. Amylase in urine can also be estimated. Normally it is less than 375 units per liter in the urine. It is increased in acute pancreatitis. It is increased on the first day and remains to be elevated for 7 to 10 days. So this can also be estimated in the urine in acute pancreatitis. Same thing is shown here. Amylase level is that was in the first slide it was in the Somoga units, and here it is given in international units per liter, but you remember 80 to 180 Somoga units, and its value is much increased in acute pancreatitis, and peak value is seen between 5 to 12 hours and returns to normal level within 2 to 4 days. So we can estimate even after 2 to 3 days then it will come to normal level. So immediately within 12 hours we have to estimate the level of amylase, so that it will give the idea about the pancreatic condition. If its level is increased too much, then we can suspect acute pancreatitis. Next enzyme is lipase. It will hydrolyze triglyceride to beta monoglyceride and fatty acid. So this is the enzyme which is a digestive enzyme for fats. Enzyme is present in pancreatic secretion. Its level is also increased in acute pancreatitis, and this persists for 7 to 14 days. So that is the advantage of this lipase over amylase. Lipase action or lipase elevated lipase level persists in the blood for 7 to 14 days. So even if we take the sample after 7 days or 6 days, the level of lipase will be increased in patients of acute pancreatitis. So thus lipase remains elevated longer than amylase. Moreover, lipase is not increased in mumps. So that is another Advantage of lipase over amylase. Amylase is increased in mumps, but lipase is not increased in mumps. Therefore, lipase estimation has advantage over amylase. It is also moderately increased in carcinoma of pancreas, biliary diseases, and perforating peptic ulcers. So, in other conditions like carcinoma of pancreas, biliary diseases, and perforating peptic ulcers, this lipase level is increased. So, what is the indication of lipase if it is increased? It can be acute pancreatitis, it can be carcinoma of pancreas, or it can be biliary diseases, or it can be perforating peptic ulcer, but it will not be mumps. So, that is the interpretation of the increased lipase level. Next enzyme is aldolase. It is a tetrameric enzyme with A and B subunits. So there are 5 isoenzymes. It is a glycolytic enzyme. In glycolysis it is required. Normal range is 1.5 to 7 units per liter in serum, and it is drastically elevated in muscle damages such as progressive muscular dystrophy, poliomyelitis, myasthenia gravis, and multiple sclerosis. It is a very sensitive early index in muscle wasting diseases. So it is an indicator for muscle diseases. Aldolase level increase means there is some diseases of the muscles. For example, progressive muscular dystrophy, poliomyelitis, myasthenia gravis, or multiple sclerosis, or there may be muscle wasting diseases. So that is the importance of the aldolase. The next enzyme is isocitrate dehydrogenase. Normal level is 1 to 4 IU per liter. It is increased in liver diseases. Liver diseases may be inflammatory, toxic, or malignant. So, in liver diseases, we can measure isocitrate dehydrogenase. The next enzyme is lactate dehydrogenase. It converts pyruvate to lactate. Normal level is 100 to 200 units per liter. It is present more in RBCs, about 100 times more in the RBCs. Therefore, for estimation of lactate dehydrogenase, we have to see that blood sample is not hemolyzed. Avoid the hemolysis, or hemolyzed blood sample should not be used to measure the lactate dehydrogenase, because lactate dehydrogenase is present more in the RBCs. But this enzyme is a very non-specific enzyme because increased levels are seen in many conditions. So we can measure this lactate dehydrogenase, but we cannot uh, precisely say that which condition is present, because lactate dehydrogenase level is increased in many conditions like all malignancies, myocardial infarction, hemolytic anemias, hepatocellular damage, muscular dystrophies, carcinomas, leukemias, and any condition which causes necrosis of cells. This lactate dehydrogenase level is increased. So lactate dehydrogenase is measured, but it will not give you the idea about which condition is present. For that, we have to measure some other parameters along with the lactate dehydrogenase. Next enzyme is gamma glutamyl transferase, or GGT. It can transfer gamma glutamyl residue to substrate, gamma glutamyl transferase. It is used for synthesis of glutathione. It is seen in liver, kidney, pancreas, intestinal cells, and prostate gland. Normal level is 10 to 40 units per liter, and it is moderately increased in alcoholism, infective hepatitis, and obstructive jaundice. But its main importance is it is clinically important because of its sensitivity to detect alcohol abuse. GGT is increased in alcoholics even when other liver function tests are within normal limits. GGT level is rapidly decreased within a few days when the person stops to take alcohol. Increase in GGT level is generally proportional to the amount of alcohol intake. So we have to, if we want to find out whether this person is taking alcohol or not, or to find that, we can measure the GGT level in the blood. So other liver function tests are within normal limits, maybe other in the normal limits, but GGT level is increased. So to find out the alcoholism or to diagnose the alcoholism, we can measure this GGT level, that is gamma glutamyl transferase or gamma glutamyl transpeptidase. And if person taking more alcohol, then its level of GGT is more. It is generally proportional to the amount of alcohol intake. And if person stops the alcohol intake, then after some days GGT level is decreased, so or will come to normal level. So it is a better indicator for diagnosing the alcohol abuse. Next enzyme is creatine kinase, or it is creatinine phosphokinase or CK. Creatine kinase, it is not creatinine, it is creatine phosphokinase CPK or creatine kinase. CPK and muscle diseases. It catalyzes creatine to creatine phosphate. It is not creatinine, it is by mistake I have shown here creatinine. It is a creatine phosphokinase CPK or CK. It catalyzes conversion of creatine to creatine phosphate. Normal serum level is 10, 10 to 80 in females and 50 to 100 in males. In males it is somewhat more, and it is elevated in muscular dystrophy. Its level is very high in muscular dystrophy, 500 to 1500 units per liter. So CPK level is increased. That means there may be muscular dystrophy, or it is also highly elevated in crush injury or accidents, fracture and acute cerebrovascular accidents. So when there is a crush injury or muscular dystrophy or fracture, then this CPK level is increased. Estimation of total CPK is employed in muscular dystrophies, and CPK-MB isoenzyme is estimated in myocardial infarction. So total CPK level, if it is increased, then that mostly indicates muscular dystrophies or crush injuries. Next enzyme is enolase. It is a glycolytic enzyme, neuron specific enolase. It is a isoenzyme of enolase, and it is seen in neural tissues. Neuron specific enolase is seen in neural tissues. It is a tumor marker for cancers associated with neuroendocrine origin, small cell lung cancer, neuroblastoma, pheochromocytoma, and medullary carcinoma of thyroid. So this is a tumor marker, neuron specific enolase. It is a tumor marker. And in which cancers it is increased? It is increased in cancers associated with neuroendocrine origin, or it can be also increased in small cell lung cancer or neuroblastoma, pheochromocytoma, and medullary carcinoma of thyroid. So these are the various conditions in which enolase level is increased, and it is measured by RIA or ELISA. Next enzyme is beta glucuronidase. This is not routinely estimated. It is present in liver, spleen, endometrium, breast, and adrenals. Leukocytes also contain high amount. Increased levels are seen in cancer of urinary bladder, and high levels, very high levels, are seen in carcinoma of head of pancreas and in 50% cases of breast cancer. So beta glucuronidase is not commonly estimated enzyme in the in the blood, but if its level is increased, then that may indicate that indicates that there may be cancer of urinary bladder, or there may be carcinoma of head of pancreas, or there may be breast cancer. Next enzyme is nucleotide phosphatase, or other name is 5' nucleotidase or 5' nucleotidase. This enzyme hydrolyzes 5' nucleotides to the corresponding nucleosides. Therefore, the name is 5' nucleotidase. Nickel ions inhibit nucleotide phosphatase, but not ALP. It is a marker enzyme for plasma membranes. Normal level is 2 to 10 IU per liter. It is moderately increased in hepatitis and highly elevated in biliary obstruction and tumors, and it is unaffected by bone diseases. So 5' nucleotidase, it is a specific marker for the liver. It is increased in hepatitis and also increased in biliary obstruction and tumors of the liver. But alkaline phosphatase is increased in bone conditions, but this 5' nucleotidase is not increased in bone diseases or bone conditions. So therefore, it is a specific for liver. 5' nucleotidase is specific liver marker. It is increased in hepatitis and also in biliary obstruction and tumors of the liver. So this is a table showing the enzymes of diagnostic importance. Acid phosphatase, prostatic cancer, alanine aminotransferase or ALT, then hepatic parenchymal disease, aldolase, muscle diseases, alkaline phosphatase, bone diseases and hepatobiliary disease, amylase, pancreatic diseases or peptic ulcer, aspartate transaminase, myocardial infarction, hepatic parenchymal disease, muscle disease and anemia, cholinesterase. In organophosphorus poisoning, cholinesterase level is increased, and hepatic parenchymal diseases also cholinesterase level is increased. And creatine kinase, it is increased level is seen in myocardial infarction and muscle diseases, muscular dystrophies. Gamma glutamyl transferase in hepatobiliary diseases and alcoholism. Lactate dehydrogenase is a non-specific myocardial infarction, hepatic parenchymal diseases, leukemias, hemolysis. 5' nucleotidase, hepatobiliary disease. Prostate specific antigen, prostate cancer. Trypsin, pancreatic disease or cystic fibrosis of the pancreas. So trypsin can also be having diagnostic importance. This is the slide showing enzymes as tumor markers. Aldolase, cancer is liver cancer may be there. Alkaline phosphatase, bone cancer, liver or sarcoma may be there. Placental alkaline phosphatase, it is also tumor marker and can be increased in lung cancer or gastrointestinal and Hodgkin's disease. Amylase in pancreatic cancer, creatine kinase in other cancers like prostate, lung, breast, colon and ovaries. Gamma glutamyl transferase GGT in liver cancer, LDH in any type of cancer, liver cancer, lymphoma, leukemia. 5' nucleotidase in liver cancer, prostate specific antigen in prostate cancer, prostatic acid phosphatase in prostate cancer. So for identification of cancer or for detection of cancer, these enzymes can be used and they are called as tumor markers. So it is not always that increase in plasma enzymes occurs. There can be decrease in plasma enzymes in some diseases. For example, amylase level is decreased in liver diseases. Pseudocholinesterase level is decreased in viral hepatitis, malnutrition, liver cancer, cirrhosis of liver. Ceruloplasmin level is decreased in Wilson's disease, that is hepatolenticular degeneration. And G6PD level, glucose 6 phosphate dehydrogenase level is decreased in congenital deficiency of that enzyme, and that will lead to hemolytic anemia. So sometimes decrease in the plasma enzymes can occur. These are the pseudocholinesterase, ceruloplasmin, G6PD. These are the plasma functional enzymes, and their decrease in the decreased level occurs in some diseases. The next part is analytical uses of enzymes. Analytical means the enzymes are used as lab reagents. For example, urease enzyme used for estimation of blood urea. Uricase used for estimation of uric acid. Glucose oxidase and peroxidase used for estimation of glucose. Peroxidase also used for estimation of glucose as well as cholesterol. Hexokinase can also be used for estimation of glucose. Cholesterol oxidase used for cholesterol estimation. Lipase used for triglyceride estimation. Horseradish peroxidase used for ELISA test. Alkaline phosphatase also used for ELISA test. Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Then restriction endonuclease is used for southern blot technique or RFLP, restriction fragment length polymorphism. And reverse transcriptase and Taq polymerase, they are used in polymerase chain reaction. So these are the analytical uses of enzymes. So enzymes are used in the laboratory for estimation of some substances. So that is called as analytical uses of the enzymes. Urease for urea estimation, uricase for uric acid, glucose oxidase for glucose, peroxidase for glucose, peroxidase for cholesterol, hexokinase for glucose, cholesterol oxidase for cholesterol, lipase for triglyceride, Horseradish peroxidase for ELISA, alkaline phosphatase for ELISA, restriction endonuclease in techniques like Southern blot and RFLP, and reverse transcriptase or Taq polymerase in polymerase chain reactions. So these are the analytical uses of the enzymes. Enzymes as a lab reagent. These are not diagnostic uses of enzymes. If diagnostic uses of enzymes are asked, then you have to write about the enzyme level when it's increased in different types of the diseases. For example, in acute pancreatitis, amylase level is increased. That is a diagnostic application of the enzyme, and that is not an estimation of, for estimation of urease enzyme is used. That is a analytical application of the enzyme, not diagnostic application. This is a analytical application, or enzymes used as lab reagents or analytical uses of the enzymes. So these are different. And also some other enzymes like alcohol dehydrogenase in ethanol estimation, lactate dehydrogenase in lactate estimation, glucose oxidase peroxidase we have seen in glucose estimation, hexokinase glucose 6-phosphate dehydrogenase in creatine kinase estimation, uricase in uric acid estimation, urease in urea estimation, cholesterol oxidase and peroxidase in cholesterol estimation, and for triacyl glycerol estimation, lipase, glycerol kinase, and glycerol phosphate dehydrogenase. This can be used. So for estimation of some substances, enzymes are used as reagents. So that is called as analytical use of the enzymes. The next is therapeutic uses of enzymes. Therapeutic uses of enzymes means here enzymes are used as drugs. So examples are streptokinase or urokinase enzyme. This is used to dissolve the clots, thrombolytic therapy in myocardial infarction. To dissolve the clots, that is thrombolytic. Thrombolysis means to dissolve the clot. So which enzyme is used to dissolve the clot in myocardial infarction? Streptokinase or urokinase. Then another enzyme is asparginase. It is used as anti-cancer drug used in acute lymphoblastic leukemia. So aspargine is required for tumor cells to grow, and if asparginase is present, aspargine level decreases, and therefore asparginase acts as anti-cancer drug. Then papain is anti-inflammatory drug or agent. Alpha-1 antitrypsin, it is used in the treatment of emphysema. So these are the examples of therapeutic uses of enzymes. Streptokinase, urokinase to dissolve the clot in myocardial infarction. Asparginase in cancer, anti-cancer drug used in acute lymphoblastic leukemia. Papain, anti-inflammatory. Alpha-1 antitrypsin used in treatment of emphysema. Streptokinase or urokinase, they can lyse the intravascular clots, and therefore they are used in myocardial infarction. By the action of streptokinase, plasminogen is converted to plasmin, and this plasmin converts fibrin into soluble products. So clot is converted into soluble substances. That means clot is dissolved, and therefore streptokinase and urokinase, these are used in myocardial infarction to lyse or to dissolve the clots. Then pepsin and trypsin are given to the patients with defective digestion. So they are used as digestive or digestive drugs. Pepsin, trypsin, they are given to patients in which digestion is not proper. Then asparginase is used as anti-cancer drug. Some other examples of therapeutic enzymes. Asparginase in leukemia we have seen. Chymotrypsin is given to decrease the inflammation and edema, chymotrypsin. Then collagenase is given in the treatment of skin ulcers. Fibrinolysin is given in the treatment of blood clots. Glutaminase in the leukemia. Asparginase and glutaminase, they are given in the leukemia. Hyaluronidase is also given in the heart attack. And lysozyme is an antibiotic. Rhodonase is given in cyanide poisoning. Ribonuclease is antiviral. Beta-lactamase is given in penicillin allergy. Streptokinase to dissolve the blood clots. Trypsin can also be given to dissolve the blood clot. Uricase is given in the gout and urokinase to dissolve the blood clots. And trypsin can also be given as a digestive enzyme, or in patients in which digestion is not proper, pepsin and trypsin are given as a drugs. Thank you.